If you don't care for what I have to say, you can simply scroll away. Otherwise, you can stay and listen. Me and other Christians are not trying to force our beliefs onto you, whether you believe or not. Obviously, when it comes to believers, there are people that believe and there are people that are more religious. I'm not saying this to be mean or to be forceful. I'm saying this because I want to see you in heaven. Whether you are a believer in Jesus or not, you need Jesus Christ to have eternal life. If you declare with your mouth that Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. For it is with your heart that you believe and are justified, and it is with your mouth that you profess your faith and are saved. Romans 10:9-10. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish but have eternal life. You need Jesus for salvation. You need Jesus for eternal life. Here's my testimony for you. I grew up Catholic, went to church, did CCD, did the whole thing. I had no interest in it. I had no interest in being religious. I had no interest in any of it. I believed in God, and that was about it. I figured I would go on with my life, and at the end of my life, I would ask God for forgiveness. But little did I know, that is a very deadly thought process. Because we are not guaranteed to be waking up tomorrow. Today could be our last day, and we might not know it. In 2020, I finally began to try to have a relationship with God. Because over everything, God is what will save me from death. Since then, I've talked about the end times throughout the years, but I've come about being wrong about when it would happen. But enough about that. Regardless of when the end times happens, you need to have a relationship with Jesus Christ. You need to have faith in him. Sincerely. Over the years, as I've studied the scriptures, I realized both the Christian and the atheist are correct about what happens after death. The Christian believes there's more after death. It's just the beginning. And the atheist believes there's nothing after death. Once you die, that's it. Well, they're both right, and I'll tell you why. After we die in the flesh, there is still some kind of life to be lived, and that is in the spirit. There's two destinations, heaven and hell. Heaven is where those who have accepted Christ will go, and those that rejected Christ and say, no, I'll take my own punishment, will go to hell. That's not just atheists. That's believers of other religions and even believers that are Christians. Not all Christians that say they are Christians are going to be in heaven. A majority of the entire population of the world will, in fact, go to hell. Now, as for why the atheist is correct about there being nothing after death, on Judgment Day, those with Christ will go into new creation, new heaven and new earth, which is eternal. Those that rejected Christ, who were sent to hell, will be thrown into the lake of fire, which is the second death. That second death is the actual destruction of your soul, your spirit, whatever. You are no longer existing at that point. Hence why it's called the second death. But please listen to my words. I say this from a loving place. You need Jesus Christ. So please seek him. He says that if you seek, you will find. But you have to be sincere about it. You can't just be lollygagging about it, being not serious about it, you know?